Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jane Matsumoto from JACCC's Toshizo Watanabe Culinary Cultural Center, and we are going to be making our Okasane, or Kagami Mochi, which is a decoration found in all Japanese homes to celebrate the new year. Why is it called Kagami Mochi? The literal translation means mirror mochi, and it is shaped after the sun goddess Amaterasu's mirror. It is two stacked to reflect the coming year and the going year, and on top is a citrus fruit known as Dai. This is a play on words because Dai also means from generation to generation. And in Japan, it is said that the Toshigami deity comes to visit each home with a pure spirit of rice and visits annually to bring good harvest, blessings for ancestors, and to give you power of life. So let's get started on making what will be your Kagami Mochi in your home. All right, everyone, are we ready to get started? The first thing I'd like to ask you to do is from your green bag that has everything in it, please pull out this two-sided instructional sheet and put that to your side. And let's go through the things that are inside. Please pull this cello bag out first. It contains everything you'll need, and you should have a bag with the ferns, and there's also a small nandina leaf in here. Don't forget that. Carefully pull out your mochi, and there will be a tangerine in there. Included in this cello bag, let's go through what's inside here, are the two mizuhiki strands, white and red. They're paper cords, a shorter strand of a red cord, a washi paper origami, kombu, this is a real kombu, and a toothpick, plus different size sheets of paper. You will first have a long white sheet of paper, a red sheet of paper, and two pieces of white linen paper. Next, I'd like to suggest that you might get your things put together that you will need from home. Please have a scissor ready, Scotch tape, optional, but a perhaps glue stick, and a ruler if you like. Now we're ready to get started. The first thing I'd like to suggest you do is to open your Okasane mochi, and please handle this carefully. It is a lovely box with a Fugetsudo label on it. Fugetsudo handcrafts each of these mochi, and they are made exclusively by hand for their clients. So there's a wax paper included. You may put your mochi on top of that. The first thing we're going to do, if you don't have a stand like this, is actually make use of this nice box that your mochi came in. So please, if you will turn it upside down, take the Fugetsudo box, turn it upside down, and place your white piece of paper on top, making sure that the edge will cover your front. Next, put the red paper on top, and we are going to put the first mochi directly on the red paper, like so. Next, look for your kombu, and look for the nice clean edge. If you happen to have a crinkled spot, avoid putting that out to the front, and put this right on top so that the edge sticks out of your mochi, and put the second mochi right on top. Now, if you find that your mochi is imbalanced because of the kombu, just take and straighten out the part that's creating the imbalance, and put your mochi right in the middle to secure it. like so. Okay, now look for your bag with the 2 fern leaves and the Nandina leaf. Put this aside and carefully take out your fern leaves and shake them up and make sure the leaves are facing the right way. We are going to place this underneath the white paper and we are going to weight it with the base of the mochi. So this would be 90 degrees. What we want to do is take it to 45 degrees and make sure that it's seated right under your base of the mochi. Take this one, same thing. Lift up your white paper, hold on to your base, and make sure that this fern is secured underneath the mochi. And we are going to put our tangerine on top. Take a look at it. Dai means generation to generation. Put the nicest, roundest piece in front. And next, look for your 4x4 washi origami paper and put the colored side face down to you. So with this facing down, fold it in half. It's 4x4, so there's no wrong side. Next, open it back up and fold it in half to the half line. Turn it around and fold it again to the half mark. So it'll look like this. Now let's open this up. You'll have 4 little segments. Once again, take your edge and fold it once to its half, then turn it over and take it again to its half, turn it back, fold it again once to its half, turn it over, once to its half, and we're just repetitively doing this until you've reached the end of your paper. And it's been scored with the fold you made earlier. So at the very end, your 4x4 piece of paper looks like a little accordion, just like this. Smush it together and take your finger and fold it exactly in half, like so. This is your fan, and this is where your glue stick or your Scotch tape is important. If you have a glue stick, you're going to place glue on either side to stick the 2 pieces together. If you're using a tape, go from the back and tape these pieces together, two sides together. I'm going to use a glue stick. Just put a little piece of glue here, a little piece of glue here, and stick it together tightly. And here we go, we just open it. Now we have a fan. What are we going to do with this? Your toothpick, point down and look at your dimension of the tangerine so that you can tell where your fan sits on top of the tangerine and behind it. And take your Scotch tape and tape it to where it is most beneficial to show the full fan over the tangerine. And just tape your fan right onto this toothpick. I find that it's easier if you put the toothpick, take the toothpick and put the Scotch tape on it first. Now, we're just going to carefully, oops, it's okay, stick it into the mochi and make sure that your scotch tape adheres. There you go. You have your fan on top of your mochi. Okay, now we're going to go to our little decoration with the mizuhiki, red and white, 2 strands, doesn't matter which is on top or which is on the bottom, but please take your finger and make a small circle like this, and then make another bigger circle around it like this. Now in Japan, they would not tape it, but for us here, we are going to use a piece of scotch tape just to make it easier for us to keep this in place for us. So just hold the 2 strands together exactly how you made your circle and secure it so it stays in place for you. Just like this is all you need. Now you're going to look for your Nandina branch and put it at a little angle like so. Next, take your cord, and I like to make a little slip knot. So I make a little circle like this and pull the 2 ends right through this eye. It's the simplest way to hold it together and do it quickly, like this. So the very last thing left for us to do is to make the shide. So lightning rod is what it represents or symbolizes. Take your 2 sheets of paper, double it up, and here's where some people might be more precise and want to measure on the 8-inch where they'd like to make their about 1.5-inch cuts. But this is what we're going to do. Take your scissor and go to about 1.5 inches and cut 2/3 way deep into both papers. Turn it around and do the exact same thing on this side. Go 1.5 inches from where you cut and make a cut 2/3 into the paper. Same thing here. Turn it around. Same thing here. 2/3. Turn it around. And we have the last cut. Okay, now separate these. You'll have something that looks like this, zigzagging. What are we going to do with this? Fold the first towards you and flip it, completely flip the whole thing over and fold it to you. Now you have 2 pieces that look like this. Again, flip it completely over and fold it to you. Now you've got 3 pieces that look like the lightning bolt is happening. And again, fold towards you, flip it completely over, and fold towards you. At the end, you will have your shide, but you have this end piece. What shall we do with that? You're going to make it into a little triangle here so that it can be easily inserted in between your mochi. It'll look like this, and let's put this right here. It'll go in front of your fern and in between the big and the small mochi, close to your kombu. And you'll do the same thing with the next one, exactly the same way. Okay, now we've made our second thunder or lightning bolt. Bring it right in front of the fern. Carefully lift up your mochi and insert your point right underneath. And here you go. Here is your kagami mochi to decorate your home for New Year's. Happy New Year's, everyone. What a lovely way to open the new year with your own kagami mochi.